Their starter lasted only 4 innings, perhaps more preoccupied with an overdue wife about to give birth some 4,000 kilometers away, which would explain the go-bag Sam Gaviglio had trundled into the clubhouse, and his lickety-split limo departure long before reporters arrived for the post-game scrum. A Father's Day baby maybe. 2 blown saves by 2 relievers. Teoscar Hernandez and Randall Grichuk and the Blue Jays start the celebration after Sunday's win over the Nationals to complete a weekend sweep. Frank Gunn, the Canadian press, raked for 5 stolen bases, 4 of them by wings on his feet. Michael Taylor, Russell Martin having a funk of an afternoon behind the plate trying to throw out pilferers. And yet the Blue Jays still managed to beat a darn good team in the Washington Nationals, 8-6, completing the weekend sweep. 7 straight wins at the Rogers Center, longest streak in nearly 2 years, clawing back to .500 at home. Article continued. Bello a 52nd, 53rd, 54th and 55th home run at their barn. 2 of those jacks came back-to-back in the 8th inning, by Teoscar Hernandez, no. 12, and Yanger Vasilarte, no. 15, to take and finally keep the lead on the way to a tidy 4-out win for Ryan Tepera. A pair of solo round-trippers from Randall Grichuk in his 3rd career multi-HR game, and maybe neither as definitive as the patient bases-loaded walk in the 3rd that brought Kendrys Morales strolling home, or a gritty at-bat in the 7th that resulted in an RBI single. The Jays just kept plugging away, apparently unflustered by the setbacks, and a 2-run edge erased under a broiling sun late Sunday gave fortitude to the assurance manager John Gibbons had made earlier on the weekend, about his team's alleged no-quit piff. Like I've told you guys many times, these guys show up. We're not always good, we're not always bad, but they show up to play. Well, that's a platitude and debatable. But certainly Toronto showed up Friday through Sunday, disposing of the Nats every which way and sending the crowd home happy. Sending the players home, with a day off Monday before the Braves pull into town, happy too. And there just hasn't been a whole lot of jolly around the club this season. So there was Grichuk, up against a scrum pillar, having reminded the formerly grumpy fan base why management had traded for the outfielder in January. It's the powerful bat, stupid. 4 runs plated on 3 hits and a walk, all the balls that left his bat put in play at over 100 meters, p.h., the kind of velocity that had him in the top 10 a year ago. A batting average that has climbed by some 70 points since he returned June 1st from rehab for a sprained knee. Article continued. Bellowy's been hot and hitting shrewd, 3 of his homers devoured on the first pitch. Anytime I feel like I can find barrels lifts the confidence. Obviously, you go 0 for 4 lineouts, it hurts the production and the stats line. But confidence-wise, you go home knowing you had a great day at the plate, and couldn't control where you hit it. Which had been happening often, sturdy at-bats with nothing to show for it. Then the balls started falling in or sailing over the fence. Anytime you can hit a couple of homers and get some good at-bats, your confidence is definitely risen. 3 for 4 Sunday with a stolen base. The most satisfying at-bat, he said, was the single with 2 strikes. Being able to put that ball in play with 2 strikes was huge. Reliever Justin Miller had been pounding fastballs to the outside corner, Grichuk fouling off 4 pitches. On the 9th pitch, with the infield drawn in, he lined one to center that dropped in. Kevin Pillar was at third, having slid in to beat the tag on a fly ball by Morales. With Kevin over at third, 1 out, I didn't think Miller was going to give me a heater over the plate. And he probably gave me 6 or 7. I was shocked that he kept throwing fastballs. That was the first time I faced him, so I hadn't seen his stuff. But I was able to get a slider 2-2 out over, put a good swing on it. I was definitely pleased with that at-bat. A month ago that would have been a predictable whiff. But Grichuk has toiled hard, making adjustments, changing his stance, particularly with 2 strikes. I've been a little more loose with my grip. And I've been able to not be as tense with my upper body, the shoulders. It's allowing me to get to that fastball, not be too tight and get the barrel there. A one-man RBI machine, diversely delivered. Mighty proud of that walk too. Obviously my MO is chasing. I'm not a big walk guy, on-base percentage guy. So being able to do it that way and not chase, make him come to me, that was big. Gibbons chose the single as his favorite. Grichuk at bat, fell behind, fouled off some tough pitches, then threw out that line drive. He's got tremendous power. The big thing early in the season was contact. The more he does that, those are the things he's capable of. He's feeling good, and good for him. He's worked at it. It was wearing on him early on, but now he seems to be smiling a little bit more. Smiles all around and a dimpled one from Hernandez. He'd been looking for a breaking ball on a 2-1 count when Ryan Madson delivered a fastball right down the middle that Hernandez laser beamed to left. I changed my plan and I just tried to take a good swing, make good contact. I saw him go quick pitch and said, okay, maybe he's going to throw me the fastball, and I catch it, hit it hard. In an earlier at-bat, Hernandez took a fastball flush on the elbow that left him crouched over in pain. Funny Bon. Not so funny. It hurts a little bit but nothing to worry about. It will be fine. Next up, Solarte pounced on him 0-2 offering, ripping it into the Washington bullpen. The weekend might not translate into a hill of beans. Toronto still 121 halves games out of a wild card in the American League. But a title shift emotionally in the clubhouse, especially after hitting a nadir low getting swept in Tampa last week. We rebounded well, said Grichuk. A really good team with a really good lineup and pitching staff. Our pitching staff kind of quieted them and we scored some runs. Put up a good fight and swept them. Oh, and a canned quote from Gaviglio, via the PR staff, about the pending first baby anxiety. It's kind of been on standby for the last couple of days. It's been difficult. Hopefully I'll make it home on time. Hold your water, Elena.